The Mayhem Ball ruined my life. Here's why. The reason why I say this is because I wasted £3,204 on tickets for my birthday show. Here is the story time. So to give you a perspective, back in March I bought 2 VIP tickets, which were 1,000 something each, and then like an hour after I bought an even better ticket at the end of the catwalk, which was section B2, right in the middle of the catwalk. So I'm sorry that I chose to do what's best for me for my birthday, and I chose the better seat. Why should I stick to row 3 when I can be front row? So I tried selling those 2 VIP tickets on Viagogo, but it turns out that the VIP tickets are not transferable. Now, do not come for me and tell me that, oh, it said somewhere in the fine print that they're not transferable. In that moment when you're desperate and all the tickets are flying by, you're not gonna read any fine print. There I was, £3,000 in minus, but someone immediately snatched those tickets off of Viagogo, and I find out like 3 days before the show, during the weekend, that the tickets are not transferable. So what was there to do? The person who had the tickets under his account did not want to give his logins, because honestly that's not normal to do. And then we couldn't sell the tickets at that price and not give the people the benefits of the VIP, so therefore they had to skip the lounge access and all that shit. Anyway, so for 3 days straight I lived with anxiety and daily Xanax to be able to cope with the fact that I may not be able to deliver the person the ticket, and I would be out of 3,000 plus the fucking 2,000 that I paid to my friend at the time. So I would have been like 5,000 plus in debt because of these fucking tickets, because Viagogo has this policy where they randomly decide if they're gonna charge you for the entire amount of the purchase or whatever they decide. So I will tell you what they decided later, and I am disputing that shit. So in that anxiety and desperation, I opened a new credit card. I transferred all my savings into a different bank and braced myself for the £3,000 bomb. Thanks to my friend Sarah, who posted on her Instagram story. Sarah, I owe you everything. Shout out to you. You've changed my life. I managed to sell the tickets to her friends for $350 each instead of $1K. And then fuck ass Viagogo decides to penalize me almost £500, and then £500 in future sales credit. Basically, so if I ever sell on Viagogo in the future, they would take away what's left out of this £1,000 penalty. Like, where is the price breakdown? Where is the percentage in your sales fucking policy? Where is that? They've just randomly decided to invent this number to penalize me for what? For not delivering non-transferable tickets. First of all, why the fuck were they not transferable? In what universe are you gonna create a show which, by the way, a ticket to be £1,000? I wanna know who was the fucking person who was behind the pricing of the merch and the seats and the decision to not make the tickets transferable. I hate you with my entire being. So obviously I disputed the charges with Viagogo because, again, where is the price breakdown? Where are the terms and conditions where it says we're gonna take 40% out of your fucking sale? Nothing. It's just what Viagogo decides. Anyway, to make a long fucking story short, yes, I am in massive debt because of this tour, but I will figure it out. So I just want to say a big shout out in the worst way possible to Ticketmaster, Viagogo, AXS, and the O2. Why the fuck do we have to download the O2 app to access our Ticketmaster tickets? Whoever is behind these stupid decisions at these disgusting companies, I hope karma is coming for you. Anyway, so I arrived in the VIP lounge near the check-in time, so around 5:15 p.m. And then the lounge was basically inside Old Bar 1 upstairs, so it had nothing to do with the actual arena. I'm not sure how the other shows are, and I'll insert some content so so you get an idea of what it was like. vibes were okay. They played a lot of Katy Perry music at a Gaga themed lounge. They only played, I think, Paparazzi and maybe something else. It was weird. I love Katy Perry, don't get me wrong, but what the hell was that? And they had a massive chessboard where you can play chess. Nobody played chess there. To be honest, the food was mid. The mini burgers were sad and dry as hell. My skeleton is falling. Hold on. So the burgers were dry as hell. We got 3 drink tokens with Gaga's face on it, so obviously I had to keep one as a souvenir. And then I had this raspberry cocktail, which was fine, I guess. It got me tipsy. I met some really lovely people who wished me happy birthday, and they were really fun to talk to. And yeah, we took pictures together, so thank you to everyone. If anyone that I met there is watching, thank you. You really made my birthday feel less alone, because I was by myself at the show, and I really appreciate that you came up to me and talked to me. Anyway, I left the lounge before 7 p.m. and I went to queue up at entrance B. Now, here is the tea. Once I got past security, they flagged me for having this skeleton attached to my body, and they basically took me aside, and the guy, I guess the head of security, was like, I appreciate the idea and the initiative or whatever, but we cannot let you in with this. This is plastic, okay? So he was like, oh, because the ribs are so voluminous and it's still a hard material, it's dangerous. Excuse me, it's strapped to my body. And I said, you cannot like remove it, it's strapped to my body. He said, no, we would have to cut it off. Oh, so you're gonna ruin my outfit and cut it off. Okay. And I said, it's my birthday, I need it. He was like, yeah, I understand, but you can collect it after. So I got my inner Karen out and I said, can I speak to someone? And he was like, I am someone. And I said, no, I need to speak to someone else. Because here's the thing, the logic in life is, it's all about the person wanting to let you do something. If security says no, it's about that specific individual saying no to you. Do you understand? So it's all about an individual person allowing you to do something. So that's why I asked for someone else, because maybe that someone else will be more empathetic towards me and my birthday and the effort that I put into this outfit. So while the guy was trying to call someone on the walkie-talkie, he was looking over the crowd to find some sort of manager or supervisor or someone, and he left. So while he was away, I was like, hold on, why the fuck am I waiting here for this guy to come over and remove my skeleton? So I sprinted up the escalator, I ran to my seat, I hid under the barricade, like at the bottom of the barricade for the entire time. She was like writing on the screen and the voices of Lady Gaga were playing on the screen. And I just sat there and waited for the show to start, because once the show starts, they're not gonna come up to me and fucking remove me from the crowd for some fucking skeleton, right? Anyway, when I got to the barricade, why were people who did not have barricade tickets glued to the barricade to the point where I had to make room in front of my seat so I can be at the barricade? There were people whose tickets were £400. There were people who didn't even fucking have VIP at the barricade. So thank God for security who checked everyone's tickets and gave everyone a wristband. But then even with the wristband, there were people who still were like, oh, I have a wristband, then I should be at the barricade. No, bitch, you should be at the barricade over there, not over here, okay? So again, they checked for tickets, and then everyone was properly at the barricade. While I was hiding from the security, this lovely girl, who did not have a barrier ticket, may I add, drew me this picture, which is so kind of her. And then I got these bracelets from someone that was passing around, friendship bracelets, in a bag, and I picked Zombie Boy, because obviously I was dressed like Zombie Boy from Coachella, and Marry the Night, because it's my favorite Gaga song, after Scheisse. And then these are the light up bracelets, which, by the way, at the end of the show they were asking for the light to recycle. We paid hundreds of pounds for these tickets. We're gonna keep the light. So this is the VIP lounge wristband. Lovely. I gotta frame this. And then this was the VIP lanyard, which I love that it's transparent. It's giving luxurious. So with this bullshit lanyard, you can skip the line at the merch store. Only one merch store, the merch store outside. So the other merch stores or whatever, you could not skip the queue. So this is only for one store. Anyway, so as we all know, the merch is horrendous and very expensive. 40 pounds for a bandana, 40 pounds for a beanie, 45 for a t-shirt. This is the barricade wristband from the security guards. And then this is the drink ticket, token, whatever. In the VIP lounge, one drink. Anyway, the show started and I had the birthday boy sash on the skeleton and I had it's my birthday flag at the barricade. Not necessarily in hopes for Gaga to wish me happy birthday on stage, because I don't think she does that anymore, even though I feel like she was doing it before. But for when she was going down the barricade, I was hoping that she would at least come up to me. No, she ignored me completely, but signed a vinyl next to me. She didn't even look at me. Anyway, I'm not entitled to that. I'm really glad that I got to see her up close. And what else? The show was incredible. My surprise songs were Dance in the Dark and The Edge of Glory for that show. And then for the other show, I got Hair and Speechless. So that's good. And then the encore songs were Monster and Telephone. But anyway, I think that's it. Thank you to everyone who liked my TikTok, who commented beautiful things on my TikTok, and who talked to me in person. I had a lovely birthday, and I will never forget that moment. Fuck you, Viagogo, and fuck you, VIP Nation and Ticketmaster.